job, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to my favorite games and shit on my way to and from work, or at least on the way to work, because it'll make me happy and stuff like that. And so I made the mistake of putting Diablo on one day on my way to work, and I got halfway to work and I'm like, I want to turn around and go home and play this so badly. I didn't. I went to work, but like I was that close to turning around because I was like, fuck, I want to play Diablo now. But like, I didn't make that mistake again. I'm like, if I ever hear the music and stuff, I have to go play and stuff. I did that with Dragon Age though. Yeah, look, I'm sure there's a few people that have got like specific songs or game music and stuff like that that just like gets them and stuff. Diablo is just one of those. Every so often somebody tries to share like a various rendition of like Diablo music or orchestral fucking music or whatever. I can't English. Anyway, so somebody eventually shares like something of this and I'll be like, fucking hell, I'm nowhere near my PC and now I'm itching to play the game. Or it's Monday and I can't play it till Thursday, you know, and all I've got is that music in my head and stuff. I don't really get it with anything else. Like, there is music I listen to when I play Need for Speed Underground 2, right? And I don't play that on stream because like it's already bad enough that like Need for Speed Underground 2 always gets like copyright striked and stuff for its music, right? But like there is music that I listen to when I'm playing it, and whenever I hear that music independent to the game, I also feel like playing the game, even though it's not from it. It's really weird. A level 2 Twister. Yeah, right. I'm gonna need more health. I'm gonna need a lot more everything, actually. Holy shit, I've been sitting here absolutely going through my stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to like stretch in between this. I like the sound of this thing. Hold on. There you go. I actually like the amulet the most. It's very pretty. Honestly, I have a lot of stuff at the moment that sounds really good. Alright. We're just trying to get like up in this corner, because I think that there's still an area over here we gotta get. Like, as I said, at the start of tonight, I believed I could have got a level. But that ain't gonna fucking happen. Not at the rate I'm going for this. No way. It would have been really nice if I could have got a level, because then I maybe would have been strong enough to have dealt with the next area. But I'm just not going to be strong enough for that. Which is really frustrating, because I was keen to be just the tiniest smick stronger to deal with them, because I obviously can't get like the better gear yet. So it would have helped. Especially since the next area. So these guys, you see how like the health is going down? The next area, the health is regenerating as I'm fighting them, to the point where we can't fight more than 3 at one time, or I just can't fucking kill them. So I'm not looking forward to the next area. But I don't know what you're playing with over there, but let's give you a decoy. But yeah, depending on fucking... I'm not seeing like the down areas. This is all I'm thinking, is like this area here should have 2 like down dungeon type things. And I haven't found them yet. And they should be here. I can't imagine them having been like replaced into the City of the Damned, because that just doesn't make any fucking sense. Unless we had originally cleared all of the outer steps. Like, I may have to go back and watch my actual VOD for that. I might have cleared all the outer steps, the Plains of Despair, but that makes no sense because I still hadn't killed Iswell, which means I hadn't cleared all the Plains of Despair, and therefore I shouldn't have been in the City of the Damned. Like, I'm trying my best to like logic where the fuck I got to, because as soon as the game crashed, I lost the map. So I just don't have that information. I can fit that. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish it hadn't crashed the map. Like could have at least seen to begin with how far I got. But because I had to go back and re-clear it anyway to get the whole map, I didn't see the point of going back and watching where I was at. Alright, there's still like a little bit here, but we've got to get up this corner. Now, she brought an enemy here before, so I'm guessing that there must be something. There you are. Nope. Nope. You guys play with that? You play with the decoy? Play the decoy because decoy is way more fun than electrocuting me. You won't die like I will. I don't know if I can fit that in there. Hold on. I really shouldn't be fucking with that while I'm got these two, but they look like they're around the corner, so I got a second. I don't think I can pick up that. It'd be a whole row. Maybe. Hold on. I can single file this up and I can move it up. There we go. Yay. Alright. Well, Eliza has managed to actually be fighting over here, so I don't know. She does do some interesting things. Like brute forcing a battle because she just wants to. Alright, we'll get this end corner here because I think we've been here, then we had Iswell in the center. Kick that. There we go. Yeah, I can't pick that up. I also need arrows, so I don't really mind going back for that.
Hello.
I don't have anything to identify. I also really need help.
What do you need?
So I'm still not getting anything actually useful. I would love to actually get, like, I'd love to pick up something that's actually genuinely very useful. And be like, oh cool, I can use this now, but it has been so long. I could not actually tell you when the last time we picked up something that I could use was. I think I've gambled for almost everything except for my amulet might be the last thing I picked up that was usable. So yeah, I don't know when that was. Early nightmare. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad that like I haven't got gear since like, well, I have bought gear. I've had to gamble for stuff, but like I haven't really got stuff since like most of nightmare. I did get that for hell, and I could use that if I could get a few more levels. Which, by the way, how far away is that? 156. It's still a few levels off. So yeah, even that would be amazing if I could use it. Can't use it. Let's just pop a new one of those, just in case. Because I forgot to put one up before, and, well, we all saw what happened earlier when I forgot to put a portal up last time. I absolutely got royally screwed over, so we put the portal up. Okay. I think this is where we had our battle. Yeah, more or less. Okay, it looks like we've got the whole fucking map over here now. And there is no downward areas. I must have got up to the City of Damned. But that doesn't make any sense. I must have had to have... Unless I rushed it on the first week, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, so what I'm trying to work out is... The first week we walked into the Pandemonium Fortress, the week that the internet crashed and I lost my map, I must have done the Outer Steps, which is here. I must have done the Plains of Despair, or at least got the outline of it. I had to have got the outline. That's my guess. But then I've been thinking this whole time that this area has got like dungeons to go down, because I must have pushed up into here, and this has got dungeons to go down. It's got one right there, and there's another one in here somewhere. But it's got the waypoint. So I don't think I know I didn't get the waypoint the first week because I couldn't find it. But there's no way in hell I could have run around in there and stayed alive. That just doesn't make fucking sense based on how hard this has been. Unless the difficulty is like scaled up in the last fucking month. That makes no sense. Like, I'll push in there. I've got the waypoint and stuff in there. I could do it for a bit of a level. Fucking hell. Does it scale or something? It does when you level. Like, so Diablo 2 does and doesn't. It does based on area and difficulty. So I'm in difficulty hell. So the difficulty here is everything can regenerate because it's hell. That's the special thing about hell, right? If I was to go back to normal, I would be very strong for this area, right? But area to area, like here, is not going to be quite as strong as up here, isn't going to be quite as strong as the next consecutive area. Like, that's how it works, is if I just ran from the Pandemonium Fortress all the way through 3 areas and ended up over there, the enemies I'd be up against would be substantially higher level by default, whatever level they would be in that area. It just doesn't show you. Think of it like WoW, when you go into like a high level area and everything's suddenly red. That's kind of like that. You go into somewhere that's too strong for you, kind of thing. And my character's not very strong to begin with, so everywhere I push into, she's just slightly too weak for what she's into. But you can bypass that by playing over and over again and getting your character to a higher level than that area, and therefore making it easier, or having better gear and making it easier, or having stronger skills and making it easier. So it's yes, but also no. It's part of what I like about Diablo is that it doesn't scale up with me, but as you progress through it, it does get progressively akin to your person's expected level. It's just because my person's so far behind what she should be here, it's always really difficult for me. So, like, if she was the level she should probably be for here, she should be like at 85 at minimum for here. But she's not. She's 81, and I've already in like the last fortnight lost the ability to gain a level. So she could have been at least 82, but she's not. So like, I've never looked up specifically what level I'm supposed to be at in like certain areas, and I've never looked up specifically like what a Hell Pit Lord level would be in the game. That kind of thing just doesn't interest me in Diablo. But I know that it exists. I know that they are scaled to a level for the area. And I know that because, like, at the moment coming through here now, this is hard. But if I was to come back through here after finishing Act 4, this would be easy. Because my person would be stronger by default than the area. Even if she didn't have good gear, she would be stronger. That's kind of how it works and stuff. But I'm confused because this last area that we were just in has been ridiculously hard tonight. But this next area that we're pushing into was ridiculously hard last week. And it wasn't 3 weeks ago. So I'm a little confused by the randomness. I was also really confused by the electric creatures in the last area because we didn't have electric creatures last week. They were in here. In here has like electric bats, and they are absolutely death to me. I will die very easily to them. But the ghosties back in that last area, I didn't see those for the last couple of weeks, so I don't know why they're suddenly ghosts. And it's interesting because like I'm relatively familiar with what you get in most of the areas. I kind of know what I'm up against. So to see it change, like I'm only noticing the change because like, you know how I play RimWorld where I save and I reload when a raid happens sometimes just to see if there's a different outcome. I'm paying attention because of patterns like that, and therefore I'm noticing it, but I never would have noticed it if I was just casually running around playing. So it maybe has always been doing this and I've just never really noticed, which is another interesting thing. Plus these guys don't fucking drop loot. Look at them. I've killed like half a dozen people here and there's no loot. But yeah, once I get past these guys, unless the last area was purposely hard and this area that we're going to isn't purposely hard tonight, that would be nice. Oh man, I love Diablo, I really do. But I'm just gonna chop this one up to just being like overly tired to not be able to just do basic comprehension. That's what I'm rolling with tonight. Because like I'm happy that we're as far as we are, but I'm so confused and my head hurts a little bit from like trying to sort out the logic of it. Like I could just like solve a little bit of the problem by going back and like checking my VOD for a couple of weeks ago and being like, did I get this far or not? What did I do? And I may have to do that, and I might actually do that later, just to find out what the fuck happened, because it's not making a huge amount of sense to me. I also forgot to sell the shit in my cube, which is rip. I might actually just quickly go back and get rid of that crap.
Greetings.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is I'm also allowing for the fact that like a couple of weeks ago before I got sick, I wasn't feeling the greatest. So I wasn't like the most comprehensive at the time. But at the same time, then when I did get sick, like I just didn't have that a couple of weeks ago, last week and this week and stuff. So it may have just been going all over, like above my head kind of thing this whole time. I just haven't noticed. This is not bad. I read it as friend snatch. It's fiend scratch, but anyway, friend snatch. That sounds not right. Nobody go. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. That can go in a million different ways, and none of it's good. I'm pretty sure I took my stuff out of there. Yeah. Oh man. I love the naming of stuff because like sometimes I just don't notice what it says, and it's great like that. Alright, so I'm expecting like zappy bats and stuff here. Now I ran all through this the other week because I was desperately trying to get my corpses back. So there are electric bats and there's these pit lords. Eliza, I'm gonna need you to come hang down with me. There we go. And champion corpse spitter. I'm also worried about him. Their health. Okay, the pit lords are actually really strong. They're going back and forth in that. Okay. So the pit lords are still we're gonna have to go on like a small group of those. I was thinking that maybe it was gonna be kind to us. But yeah, these guys are healing themselves efficiently. It's like this guy, all three of us attacking him and his health is barely going down. Like, it is going down, it's just that like it's stagging at some points. So this is going to be a hard area to go through. Mind you, I have found that sometimes when I'm playing Diablo, I do find like I get more groups of bosses than other times. But you know what we can finally fucking do, though, is literally from the next time I play onwards, we can start in this area because we've done a full clear of the last area. So that is nice. The only reason why, whoops, hold on, go back. The only reason why I'm kind of like pushing through a little bit at the moment is to hopefully get some XP and like try. Yeah, hold on. I probably can't run the extra ad roll because an ad is actively running. Twitch just don't let me do that. So I'll refund you that one. But I'll get your timeout and I will hydrate. Hold on. Where did that one go? There you go. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, Joel's been here from like, I think the start of the night. I saw him redeem the hydrate and timeout and stuff at the start of the night, so I assume he's been around. I just like the fact that like, even if you don't chat, I can still do timeouts and stuff. I find it fun. What are you two? You're a morphine. Sorry, I just said that fast enough for it to be like morphine. Eats and spits corpses. Brilliant. He suddenly refuses to verify his phone number so he can actually talk. It's fine. Look, I kind of like go with this logic is that the phone verification prevents me from getting majorly spammers harassing myself and chatters and stuff like that. However, like in the event that like verification is holding somebody back from joining chat, it's probably not a bad thing. I do kind of feel like Droll would get himself like timed out and or potentially try to push the boundaries, would end up getting banned here kind of thing. So yeah, by him not actually chatting, he's actually able to be in the community for a lot longer. Oh, still Jade the Jagged. Demon extra fast, fire enchanted for multiple shots. I also mean that in the nicest possible way, Droll. I just know what your personality is and stuff. So I know that you would like enjoy purposely like pushing buttons and stuff. So yeah, I don't have that tolerance. I personally believe that, you know, after I basically like nearly died from my Crohn's and stuff, I don't have to put up with anybody's shit. I will live with and how I desire and stuff. Unfortunately, obviously, like, you know, when it comes down to existence and stuff, I can't like have any real say in like affording shit and whatever. But I think I'm having a relatively okay life for the most part, all things considered. These guys are absolutely chewing through my mana. But I need to get like one of them dead. He's a menace to society, yes. I mean, I don't think he's that bad. I just think he enjoys tormenting people on like on an amusement level. And I just don't have time for dealing with that crap. I wouldn't let my best friends do that to me, so there's no way I'd let someone I'm not like personally know do that to me. This guy with his multiple shots. I mean, he looks fucking sick, don't get me wrong. I didn't want to put Valkyrie right back where that was. My only problem with these guys is I can't actually take a hit from one of these. The Demon Lord things, the Venom ones, I can take a hit from them. These ones, no. I can't get that close. Hold on, I need mana back on me. Okay, there we go. Alright. I love when they're like doing the multi-directional fucking fire thing. It looks really cool. So I'm trying to kill at least one at a time because these guys are regenerating in a way that I really can't kill them off. Let's put that there. Let's put you there. If you're facing that way, come here. I'll just stab one of you at the back because as long as he doesn't turn around, I'm fine. Oh man. I like all the different colors and shit here, like the blacks and the blues, and specifically the red dude looks a lot like Diablo and stuff. Let's just put you there, let's move back, because, yep, fire. You there. The multiple shots, so he's demon extra fast, fire enchanted multiple shots, fire immune. I think the name is pretty cool. He's what, Jade, still Jade the Jagged. Sounds awesome. I'm not so worried about him. I'm not so worried about fire types out here. Like, not like the Cold Plains kind of area. Like, the Cold Plains was a problem because we had they get resurrected and shit by the ones doing the fire, and I can't kill the fuckers. So that was it. Amazon exists in Diablo 2. Or Asmodean. I don't think he does in Diablo 2. Like, Asmodean, hold on. I've always played in lots of. Hold on. I'll do a quick search on that. Because I'm pretty sure he's not in Diablo 2. But I know the name. So I can't remember if I'm thinking of Hell of a Boss or if I'm thinking of Diablo. Asmodean. It says he's in Diablo 3, but he's not coming up for the other Diablo searches off the top, so I would say he's in Diablo 3. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, when it comes to like that, like I will sometimes like know of names and I'll be like, I can't remember which one he's in. You know, same with like Duriel and stuff. I always forget Duriel's in this, and I think Duriel is in 4, 2 as well, 2 and 4. Like, my brain just craps out on me when I'm like, which one are they in? Eliza, for fuck's sake, love, come stand with me.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I was saying this a bit earlier, but whenever I'm like really, really tired, I can't usually recall stuff. Like, I can't remember things very well. But because I've played a lot of all the Diablos, I do sometimes like overlap and mix up where the information is coming from. If I'm in like a really good headspace one night where I'm like well rested and stuff, for sure I can remember this stuff like down to a T, but tonight's not that night. So I'm happy enough to rely on a Google search to answer your question, because it ain't gonna come naturally. I didn't search while actively in combat, lol. It's fine. It's not like this spot's that bad, honestly. I also didn't realize that I was in combat. I'm like Diablo 2. Okay, so I am paying attention, but I'm not paying attention, kind of. I don't know how to put this really well, but like when I play Diablo 2, Diablo 2 is the most passive kind of game for my brain. Like, I can play RimWorld when I'm really sick and tired, and I can play Diablo 2 when I'm really sick and tired. They are both games that I just kind of know, and I don't need to focus too hard on to play. Diablo 2, like, I chose it tonight because I had so very little energy before I streamed. I was not sure if I could stream tonight. That's how tired I was, and I'm like, no, I'll do it. But I was gonna choose between like Project Zomboid, RimWorld, or this, and I felt like RimWorld was gonna be too quiet, and Project Zomboid, I just didn't have the attention span to keep my person alive, and at the moment she's in a spot where I'm making progress and I don't want to risk that. But Diablo 2 is something where like I'm constantly running around and talking and fighting and stuff like that, but I tend to stand back pretty far. Unless something gets me at a distance, I'm usually okay. But I will die occasionally, I just don't care if I do. It's sometimes frustrating, but it doesn't matter to me. Like, the average Diablo 2 player probably would lose their shit if they died because they were talking or searching for something or whatever. Probably delete the game, uninstall it, burn the computer on the lawn kind of attitude to it. I just don't give a fuck. I love Diablo 2. I'll die a lot playing it, and I'll lose a heap of XP, and it's fine. I'll get there eventually. It's just a comforting game. Which is weird because it's all like demonic fucking demons, brimstone, and hell. And like, if you heard me earlier, I was talking about these like cave leaper thingies, and I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. They're like these 6-eyed fucking mouthy, toothy bastard looking things that happen to be purple. Like, if you want to look them up, I think it's like a cave leaper or cave lurker, Diablo 2. It will show you what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. Or cliff lurker or something like that. But they're cute as fuck to me. And they're like the most like horrific little demon creatures. But they're adorable. Right? They're happiness noises. So, yeah. I'm bad with names, so even if I played game a ton, I probably wouldn't remember characters' names well. I actually do okay with games for some reason. Games are really different than like trying to remember somebody's name or face. So I'm bad with names and faces. Really bad with names and faces. But when it comes to games, like I can remember the most fucking obscure shit that's totally not gonna like be of any benefit to my day-to-day life, right? But like even on this playthrough and stuff, I remember shit from my first playthrough when I was 12. I'm 37. right? It's been a few years since I played originally, and I'm recreating that because I remember it. Like, I just have like a stupid memory for stuff like this. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's great and shit, but like, yeah. Sometimes there's other things that would be worth remembering, you know. Get out of my face, mate. There's a weird leech monster in WoW Dungeon that I find adorable because it flails its tiny limbs to attack you. And it just looks small and pathetic. Well, I don't really remember any like leeching ones. Like, I'm pretty sure I was before the was it the Burning Crusade? Or I was about the Burning Crusade time and stuff like that. It's from Blood Dungeon in PFA. Yeah, I probably either haven't seen it or don't remember it. Ironically with WoW, I spent the majority of my time just seeing if I could climb things, like mountains and buildings and shit, and just standing on top of wherever I happen to climb up to and having conversations with people. That's mostly what I did in WoW. Or I'd go and like, I'd go level for a bit or something like that, or I would play the capture the flag and stuff, which I really quite enjoyed. I didn't do a lot of like dungeons questing in WoW. It was more of a casual thing. I mean, I did occasionally, but yeah. I think the only thing I ever waited for, I can't even remember what the quest was, but you go into the Alliance main base, the big castle one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. And there was like a room in there that you'd go and like wait for some quest or something like that, but you had to wait in that big room and stuff. It was like at the end of like a ascending hallway and shit. I don't know what the quest was for that. It might have just been capture the flag, I don't know, but I know I went there a lot and I hung out there a fair bit, but I can't really remember where else I went. When I had my no, I was Alliance. I was initially Alliance because my brother's character was Alliance, and he got me the game to play with him and stuff because he'd moved like over an hour away and stuff, so we just couldn't just play games and shit. Like, WoW was literally the only thing we could do. And so I had a night elf initially. I liked her a lot. I played her so much. She was pretty high level for the time. And then later when I had co-workers that were playing it, they wanted to, well, they couldn't get in contact with me because I was busy at the gym, so they ended up making Horde characters because I hadn't communicated to them which fucking team I was on. And so when I came home and I found out, and they're like, oh, we're on Horde, and I'm like, well, fuck, I can't carry you then. I gotta make a new character for that. So I made a blood elf for that. I thought it was the natural opposition to, obviously, a night elf was a blood elf. So yeah, so I had. But like, I didn't really mind the, oh shit, something here is electric. I didn't really mind Horde, but because I played like Alliance first, I kind of felt a bit weird about it at times. Like, it just felt like I was, I don't know, suddenly playing